Dear Ishwar, is reincarnation real?
Is reincarnation real? It depends on what is the definition of real. When you have a dream, is the dream real? Yes, it is. Nobody can say I didn't dream. If the definition of reality is what you have experienced, then you experience a dream, it's real. When does it become unreal? When you wake up. Not before that. When you're dreaming, even if you say in a dream, I know it's a dream, and sometimes we have dreams like that, then we say, I know it's a dream. You really don't know, because you're telling people who don't really exist that you're telling them it's a dream. When you wake up, you don't tell anybody. You realize they were not there, they were made up by you in the dream. So that is why the definition of reality we are adopting is what we are experiencing. Right now, our only reality is the physical world, material world. No matter what we say, all other things are somewhere else, not real. When we wake up to those levels, they'll become real. This will become dreamlike. But till then, this is real. Is reincarnation real? Let me put this question a little differently. If we were living in our true home and came for the first time into this world, how did we get our karma? If the physical body cannot be made up without karma, how did we make up the first physical body when we came first time? Obviously, when we came first time, we picked up a package of karma which had a past life. Programmed, not lived. We never lived that. It's a programmed. In order to create this, that means we cannot pick up just one life without picking up a whole sequence of past lives. How many past lives? Infinite. To create each life, we need past life. We pick up a package to live one life, and we are picking up so many past lives which we have never lived. We are picking up so many future lives which we have never lived. And we may go back home in the very first life, and there will be past lives and future lives we never lived. So it's just an experience generated of creating an experience, physical experience of past lives and future lives. But supposing once we come here and we live a second life after that, then this becomes real, reincarnation becomes real. And if we keep on repeating, all reincarnations become real. The past lives we can remember, or the lessons we can remember from past lives, they all become real, and future becomes real. Can we check this out? Is it possible to check out if reincarnation is actually real? Yes, it can be checked out. The only way we check out things, when we check out, did we come into this hall? We are not coming now. We came into this hall earlier. To check out, did we come into this hall? What do we use? Memory. That's the only way we have to check out. Did we come into this hall? Yes, a memory. When you go to the causal level, you can remember all your past lives. And there you know for certainty that reincarnation is real for the system of creation that we are in right now. And therefore, it's only necessary to go to that point where you can remember. I want to tell you something very interesting for those who are deeply interested in understanding how we live. We live here in time. There's a past, and a present, and a future. Reincarnation is only possible if we live in this kind of time frame. Supposing we live in zero time, there will be no reincarnation. Our reality is in zero time, and therefore no reincarnation there. But over here, we are living in time. And this time is making us feel we have a real past, a real present, and a real future. Let's examine this. Let's examine present first of all. How much time is there in the present? When I start speaking, it's future. When I've spoken, it's past. When was it present? Do you know the present or now has no time at all in it? Yet we feel it as time. How can we feel we are living in time when the present is zero time? It's just a joining together of the past and the future. Zero time. So how can we say that now we are living in time when the only time we can live in is now? Somebody presented a book to me by an author saying, power of now, live in the now. The whole message was, live in the now. I said I want to meet any person in the world who is not living in the now. Everybody is living in the now. There's no other place to, no other time to live in except the now. They're all having now all the time. So, and now has no time. How can we experience something that has no time at all? The reason is very simple. The immediate past we are calling present. Just what has just happened we are calling present. It's not truly present. There's no present. Present and no time. The immediate past is being called present and now. And therefore, how can you experience past? What has already happened, is there any other way to experience except by memory? No, there's no other way. Recall of memory is the only way we can go and remember the past. And we can relive the past, but only through memory. What about future? Is the future real? Future is created by our human mind's capacity to hope, to fear, and to anticipate. Supposing these three functions are denied, there will be no future. Examine this. Examine if we do not hope for something, if we are not afraid of something, we don't anticipate anything, there will be no future at all. And in order to hope, it takes time. In order to fear, it takes time. To anticipate takes time. So all three functions are in the past. They take time, not in the now. So future is also in the past. Can you imagine what we call present is actually past? What we call future is actually past. And past is past can only be recovered through memory. So our whole life here, we don't realize, is just recalling and living a memory. Where was this memory created? If there was no time to create it, where was it created? It is created at the causal level. The causal level created in one instant millions, trillions of possible destinies in time. And we just picked up one capsule, one DVD from there and are playing it right here. It's a complete DVD. It's a complete destiny. And we are playing it here and thinking we are going through time. It's a remarkable experience. It's a miracle that now having no time is making us feel we are living in the present all the time. That is why if you examine time very carefully, that we're living in the physical world, it's nothing but a replay of something prepared earlier, not here, somewhere else, in the causal plane. Now, this is not a speculation I'm telling you. I'm saying go there and check it out. You'll find that's exactly how all destinies are being created. That's where we picked up the destiny. That's where we created the kind of time we are living in. So it's very interesting that time is merely play of a capsule of memories that we picked up and we play them, they become real life. When we go higher, we recall this was just a game that we played. This was just a movie that we were watching. Just a DVD we were playing the whole life. When we watch a movie, of course we are watching it on the screen, and this life we are living in the head of one of the characters. And the character we choose doesn't matter. And that reminds me, I've often quoted from that book by Geoffrey Chaucer, Canterbury Tales. That book was very important in English literature when I was studying for my master's exam in English literature. I realized that was a very important book because that was the foundation of the modern novel. The modern novel that is written now, the stories that are written, have characters. Some are jealous, some are proud. Before that, there was no such thing. If you look at the old story, once upon a time there was a king and there was a queen and they died and the story ended something like that. They never say he was a haughty king or he was a jealous king or he was a kind king. Those words came up after Chaucer's book, the Canterbury Tales. In the Canterbury Tales, Chaucer talks of about 40-50 characters all going to Canterbury on a pilgrimage. And he says he was also amongst them. So Chaucer becomes a character in that book. He's the author of the whole book and also becomes a character in the book. They are telling stories to each other and they are singing songs and reciting poems just to while away the time as they are traveling. And those are the poems which first start characterization of the characters in a book. For example, they talk of a lawyer, an attorney, and they say, a busier man than him there Nos means never was. A busier man than him Nos, and yet he seemed busier than he was. Like a modern attorney. This kind of characterization. So the whole book is like that. It's very interesting. In the book, the other characters say, Chaucer, you are a great poet, you are a great writer. He's written all the poetry in the book. Come on, give us some nice poem. Chaucer says, I don't know any poetry. Say, no, come on, we know you are a great poet. How can you say that? Give us some nice poem. And Chaucer gives the worst doggerel rhyme in the whole book. And all the other characters criticize him. Oh, we didn't expect that from you. Why has Chaucer decided to write a book in which he becomes a character insulted by the other character that he himself has created? This has been compared sometimes with the crucifixion of Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ was Son of Father, one with the Father, the Creator, and he is crucified by his own creation. How can that be? The answer is very simple. At the level of the author, Chaucer was all characters, not one. He was all the characters. By participating in the head of one character made no difference to him so long as he knew he was the author. Jesus Christ knew he was one with the Creator. It didn't matter who crucified him to create the passion for seeking, and therefore he was constantly aware of that. When we are aware of our true reality, it doesn't matter which character we go into. It doesn't matter at all. We are all characters. At this time, we don't know that. At this time, we've isolated ourselves as a character in the movie. But when we find our authorship of this whole creation, then we discover it didn't matter at all which one we had. It's a very interesting way how this has been arranged. And reincarnation and coming into separate lives is a created experience. If you go above the mind, what will happen? You go above the mind, you find everything was merely created for experience. Nothing was real. You were real. The experiencer was real, but not the experience, no matter what experience. The experiencer is always real. I am holding this cup of water, very beautiful. It resembles the cup that Great Master used to drink water from, a silver cup. I am holding it. I am questioning, is the cup real? Yes. How do I test it is real? I can touch it. Is the water in the cup real? Very nice sweet water. I had just a real taste of it. Somebody says, no, it's not real. I say, you don't know anything. I'm experiencing it. I'm experiencing the reality of this cup. I'm experiencing the reality of the water. How can you say it's not real? He said, actually, it's not real. He gives an example. Supposing I have the same cup in my dream, and I pick up the same cup, just like I demonstrated now, and I have the same taste of the water. Is the cup real? Drinking is real. I had the taste. Touching the cup was real. I touched it. I wake up. Neither the cup was real nor the water was real. Experience was real. This world is exactly like that. Experiences are creating our reality. It's not that we think because an experience relates to objects and people, they're all real. When do we find the truth? There's only one consciousness, one dreamer creating all the dreams. Then we reach the top. And this is possible, to discover this unity. Now imagine if we get that experience of realizing that all the people we are seeing are part of the same one, and you are that one. Wouldn't you love everybody? How could you hate anybody? You are hating yourself if you hate anybody. If you call that creative power God, you're hating God if you hate anybody. And that comes immediately into your awareness. That ultimately the whole thing is being created from that one spot. And the doorway to that spot lies within us at the third eye center. What a beautiful opportunity to discover this truth. And you'll be loving everybody if you have even half the experience. Full experience, of course, gives you total awareness, total knowledge of how this is all created. Even the source of creation comes into knowledge. But even without that, your compassion and love will be automatic. You are denied, it's what automatically flow. So that is why these perfect living masters are constantly, automatically loving us. And there is no judgment involved. When they look at a person says, I am very bad. I don't deserve anything. They look at us and they hug us and they love us. And we say, I don't deserve it. They are not looking at our deserving and not deserving. They are looking at our seeking. That we are seeking the truth for which they have appeared in our life. That is why seeking supersedes everything else. You seeking of the truth, of the ultimate true home. You seek the true home, you will find the perfect living master who will take you back home. If he says, I accept you, your journey has ended. His work has begun. And he'll take you himself. He'll make you go through things for the sake of your mind. Don't take it very seriously.